We're here.
Incoming.
Boom.
Boom.
All right.
Welcome in.
Yeah. In.
In.
In. There's a lot of en.
Yeah. So we're gonna dive now into knowledge, into the North Star.
And incoming. Income. What is your income is not very appropriate to ask.
I give the
People like to keep their
outcome.
income private. Yeah.
The income is for the thing which goes in. So you have the thing which has to the E that has to go in, and then it's income.
Yeah. Inside.
Yeah, inside of something.
All right.
Yeah,
so
it's very much about being inside, and maybe it's about much other things also.
Invert. Inversion. Inverted. Vert is like also you have a vert on a ramp, a vert ramp, a skateboarding ramp,
Yeah,
or
vertical.
And yeah. So you have quite a few like nature or kind of measurements in there. Vertices.
Yeah, from there
is the axis.
Yeah.
These are the vertices. Invert.
Verse. Impersonating back.
Well, inverse is interesting also.
Yeah.
Because you have a universe, an inverse.
Yeah.
I wonder if you had a good understanding of both those things, you would be very versatile.
Yeah, because if you understand universe and the inverse, the universe is everything around, then the inverse becomes the atoms which are flying everywhere.
Yeah. So it's more like a inner knowledge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Verse. And uni, I think we've talked about this before, but uni is also dream in Finnish.
Yeah.
Which makes universe a very different word.
Yeah, yeah. The verse of the dream.
It would be diverse.
No. Diverse.
And
then you're diving into the ocean already.
Yeah. So it's good to have diversity, because then you have the inverse and the universe.
And then you have the diverse.
That's, yes. Traverse. Three.
Traverse.
To traverse the path.
Seems our rhyme man had a lot of verses.
Yeah. Wonder if there's a fervorous. Fervorous means like you're hungry. Fervors. No, that would be, I'm changing it though. I'm adding an extra sound in there. Fervors. Okay. Well, I guess it stops at 3 or at tree or tray.
Inverse, reverse, adverse, inverse.
Oh, reverse. Reverse is nice. Reverse is very nice.
Versemen. Then it's also in overseas. Overseas. And then there is perverse.
Perverse. Perverse.
There's verse, the perverse.
Yes.
So conserve the perverse.
Yes. So this verse and verse.
Yes.
Verse, right?
Vers.
Verse. 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 Verse.
Skrivs vers, but pronounced vers.
S.
Yeah.
Applying that S at the VER, and then you take away the S just means belonging to. So now we're looking at VER. So what is that S belonging to? There.
It doesn't have to be long. Vers. Visst, fucking it's vers. Yeah, it's belonging in that case, yeah. But then what is var? There has been in our chat some talk about what is var.
Maybe it's V airs.
V air. But it's vers.
Airs is,
Yes.
Isn't that Sampo?
No, that's Seppo, that's the king.
Seppo. Yeah,
yeah, it's V
airs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in this mythology, Ers, the king, he is the ruler of the Vanir people. So V Ers is the verse which you sing to the Vanir about their things.
Just like Von is one. Von verse.
One verse.
Verse.
Yeah. One ring to rule them all. One verse to rule them all. E, A, B, C, D.
That's cool. That's a cool path to traverse.
Yeah. It's an inversing.
This IN, you get insight.
Insight.
To incite something.
Yeah.
Is that? That's insight.
Yeah.
So your sight from within. So that's easy. I don't think that would be in root. I think that would just be an English one. Like it comes from like incident. Like having an
it's
incident.
insict. Sict is the sight. It's the same word. Insict and insight is the same word.
Yeah. Okay.
The GH becomes the K.
Yeah, and this one it's egga.
Egga. But that's egga is.
It's still like egg on. When you egg someone on, like you incite violence or something, or you incite something like, that's an insert. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say that word, but it's sorry, a lot of politics going on recently. I'm just trying to keep my finger on the pulse.
But egga comes from from the egg.
Yeah, the ego.
It has to do with something.
And that's insight. Like that's insight, but like SIGHT, insight. That's like an insight. But the insight is like if I like try to do something to get a reaction out of you, good or bad or whatever. Usually it's more like kind of bad, but people use it only to like for bad things, like to incite someone to do something is to like trick them into doing something. So it's to put your sight in.
Yeah.
So it's S. This one is CITE, not SIGHT.
Insight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why that would be ego, ega, right?
Okay.
Yeah, spora.
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 Sporra.
Spora.
Spora. Whatever, forget that word. Because we got other good ones, like this is one I would really like to dive into, which is incarnation. Reincarnation. Incarnate. Inbiten. Inbiten.
What is that?
Inpiskad.
Beaten.
Beaten.
Like beaten. Inbiten.
I'm saying it in root, or I'm trying to.
Inslagen.
To incarnate.
Incarnate. Yeah. Incarnate.
It would be in like incarnation.
Yeah, incarnation.
Yeah. So we have incarnate also, or to incarnate.
Yeah. But it's incarnera.
Incarnera.
Yeah, then we have in, and then we have car, which can be a man. And then we have ner, which is down, and then rad or ad, which makes it a process. Incarnera. Incarnerad.
So, but in that word, ra is the sperm. So from sperm.
Yeah, incarnera is the process when you become, then there is the ra.
Yeah, so back, understanding the word backwards is like the ra becoming the man. So if you do reincarna, so that's reincarnate, right? And so that we are reincarnations, all of us.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we come from sperm, the raw.
Yeah.
So
I'm
we are
just
being
trying to
the
think it from the
incarnation.
incarnera, that what is its meaning.
That's what I'm saying. You just said car's man.
Yeah.
So in, man, ne is like, could be knowledge, or it's knowledge back.
Down.
Oh, down, right. Exactly.
Yeah, so
down here.
or down into the ground so that you can raise up as well.
Boom. Yeah. And that, well, yeah, that would be also grave, sperm grave man, like under the ground to go into the tree again and back into the nature. Yeah. And then you do it. And then when you it, right now we are the incarnation, or incarnera. Yeah. And next time will be the incarnera. I like that idea because that makes sense and it's true.
Yeah. In this soul power Fylgia system, that's how we circulate in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was actually one day here thinking about that also, because like when we have, so to say, the Valkyria, which flies to our mouth and our breath, so it has to have some sort of human DNA in it, the soul power. And then our brain have to have some power which create the Fylgia into a soul or into sperm.
Yes.
So this then from our brain gives the sperm its kind of DNA or something then.
The other way around. because each one is already the whole.
Okay, the DNA, and then the sperm builds the system around it or something.
All the brain we have today was already. It was already destiny. Dest in E.
Yeah.
Dest in E.
Yeah. Destiny.
It's already in every single cell.
Yeah, but to
So
be
it
able
has
to
everything.
create a new one, we have some
Right.
process in our brain that's
Yeah.
able to do it. Yeah. Because if we are able to get our parents' traits, then to get the father's trait, it has to happen in the father's brain. Because you have the bacteria which flies in, it doesn't still create you body type.
Right.
So the father creates the structure for the seed to grow, so that it goes to the mother, and then in the mother's egg get the mother's knowledge.
Yeah, and like when we say like the universe, we can observe that. We can observe nature.
Yeah.
We can, observe at least something about it.
Yeah.
We only see what's important for us to see.
Yeah.
But I can hear it also. I can't see the sounds, so, and we have all the different senses, but the inside is something we actually can't observe.
Not in the same sense.
Right. And and so that's the aspect that doesn't come from the parents.
Yeah.
Maybe. And that's that's what's in the,
the self is not from our parents. In a way.
Self. I was just thinking about the self spelled backwards for a second.
Yeah.
Because it would be S. It would end with S. And FL is like fly. Like a lot of flying or flowing words. Flying, flowing, floppings.
It's like almost like flesh, like flesh.
Yeah. A fly. Birds fly.
Yeah, when the self
like
is whole, it becomes
and then S is Sulan. So I just thought that was kind of a cool thing to reflect on backwards in self. I don't know.
But yeah, when you turn self around and then you add the age to be whole, then it becomes flesh.
Yes, flesh. Whoa, that's amazing. That's a good one, right there. Write that down. Write it down. No, just kidding.
It's recorded.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. So much better to listen to. It's so much more efficient to just speak and think out loud.
Yeah. It's almost that should have this just open channel where everybody can go and just, rather than coming to the chat and write with your phone, you just log in there and then you start to speak with whoever is there.
Yeah, like a virtual audio room.
Yeah.
They did that. They had a company that did that for a while. I forget what it was called. Basically collapsed because they were not letting people speak, but got very political, very polarized quick.
Yeah, that can happen.
What was that called? Everyone did that for a while. It got really popular really quick, but whatever. Okay. What's another IN word that's in root that we can play off of?
My list starts with the word Ina.
Ina.
Yeah. And Ina is
The
when
knowledge
the
inside.
mosquito comes.
Oh, I was all, oh, it's a nice sound. The knowledge inside. Yeah, sucking your little bloodsuckers. That sounds just exactly like they sound, though.
Yeah, it does. That's kind of the
I think that's as simple as that.
yeah.
Because that's, if we're talking about what the self is, the flesh is, like you're describing all the different senses. So that is exactly what it sounds like.
And it's coming in so the E is coming into your like Acer of a human.
Yeah. That's perfect.
But that has to mean that there was mosquitoes in paradise if it's so old world.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I hope that there wouldn't be.
That's what they find. They find those in amber.
True.
The big ones too, apparently.
Yeah. Then the next word which comes is enough.
Imagine a 6-inch mosquito and swarms of them. Sound like a
like in 6 inches, 20 centimeters. It's like your head sized mosquitoes.
Sound like a motorcycle. One of the speed ones.
And then you have no house or home to live because you live in leaf holes. And then there comes. That's why they have the temple underground, so you can hide from the mosquitoes.
Yes, I would. That would be like the only thing I would hide from. I feel like everything else we could work something out. Yeah. The bears.
But how would you imagine then a mosquito to be human friendly? Because if the theory is that human came along with animal.
It's not really animal. I mean, it is, but technically, like insects, I feel like I have more in common with a tree than a mosquito. But I guess.
But there are people who are so close to nature that the mosquitoes don't come and bite them in a way.
Yeah, they got that good stink.
Yeah. Good stink. Oh yeah.
I wonder if that has to do with just like the energy of someone. We detect it in each other.
It's this Taurus energy that we have been talking about, this people distance thing.
Electrically charged, grounded, resistant, shielded.
Yeah.
Energetic.
By the same, like there is people who are able to be friend with bears or lions or tigers or such.
Or fire.
Because nature.
Yeah. Kind of an aspect of fire. Like it can be very destructive, or it could change the course of history.
Yeah.
Put fire in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Messing with something that's quite powerful.
Maybe that's also a thing, because if in Saga before fire was entrusted to women, and now men are taking control of the fire.
Yeah.
Or the firearms.
I don't really agree with most of the things we are doing with fire, honestly.
Yeah.
It allows us to connect, I suppose, make all the technology we have, the metals, metallurgy, using power for prosperity. Not to be, let's find a good IN word to describe.
But also
this,
metallurgy is good if it's used in a proper way, because if you are using a recyclable system where you always recycle that which you are not using and you're not throwing it to the nature, then you not need to be mining everything all the time. But
Right.
nowadays, when our phone with our valuable minerals holds for 1 year and then you throw away and then again more minerals and so on. But
Yeah, they can't do it forever. So
no.
their system won't work. So I'm not really too worried about it.
Yeah, it's temporary.
Yeah. For thinking about the trees that will begin growing, whose shade we will never sit under.
Ah, yeah.
We should think about increasing. That's a good IN word.
Yeah.
Increase.
Yes. But it has a crisis in it.
Yeah. But in.
Increasing.
But crisis isn't necessarily meaning something negative in the past.
No, but it's interesting that the word has the crisis word in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the word means that it's in the crisis in working.
Mm.
In a way.
Increase, increasing,
Like
sing.
working, increase, increasing.
Sing.
Yeah, you can increase it also.
Cree. That's crease is like a fold also. So a crease, like if you have a crease in your clothes, if you need to iron them, it's a crease.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has to do with like the folding.
Increase and decrease.
Decrease.
Yeah.
Huh. Crease.
Yeah, because increase and decrease, one you suck and one you put in.
Yeah. You put in, yeah, it does seem like quite a few of these to incite again is like putting in. It's the action of putting in rather than SOC scree, which leads to in English scream. And that's definitely a crisis if you're screaming.
Discrimination.
Or discrimination.
Discrimination.
Discree. Mean. Asian. Just discree. Mean. Me. Nation. Na. Shun.
Nation is nation, not shun. Mean is mine, or a mean like a face gimas. Discree. Mean. Nation. Jo.
Well, did we already do well there's ineffective. Did we already do ineffective? Ineffective.
Ineffective. Ineffective. Ineffective. Ineffective.
Yeah. Useless. I like
in
the
the next
insect.
word, which is a bit similar, but then becomes inat, which is tonight. But then we have e and not. So we don't have an in word in that, but we have an e word. Like
Which one was it again?
inat,
Inept.
I-N-A-T-T. Yeah.
Inept.
Inat, tonight.
Oh, not.
Inat.
You're in the night.
Yeah.
So not would be night.
Not, yeah. No, not.
Night. Not. Night.
Not.
Not.
No.
Night. Not. Night. Same word.
But then we have also these negative words like inget, ingen, and yeah. Because then in becomes then no one, nothing.
Inept.
Ingen, inget.
Ingen.
Like in gen and in jet.
Okay.
Get.
And what do they mean?
No one and nothing. Like inget becomes like inget, like nothing get, which is then nothing.
Net.
Yeah. And then in gen is also have the gene. So no gene is no one.
It still makes me think of inept
Inept.
in English. Inept
Okay.
means like you're incapable.
Okay.
Or like a loser, like whereas if you're adept at something, you're really good at it.
Okay.
So you can either add the depth. Oh, there it is. Add depth. Or but no, this one's different. It's a depth. So that one is depth, which is cool. But inept. See.
Apt.
Oh, this one's a olämplig.
Olämplig, yeah.
Yeah, olämplig.
But that's more like inappropriate or like not suitable.
Incompetent.
Yeah.
Incompetent.
Incompetent.
Competent. So that would be inverting the word as well. So yeah. I feel like I mean there's a lot of IN words, but it's mostly serving as kind of just either inverting the next part of the word.
Yeah.
Rather than the rest of the word describing. Well, it's kind of mutually exclusive. They're not mutually exclusive. It goes both ways, I guess, with all the IN words.
Yeah, because like in this root we have like inside, inner, or within, which are all in words, which then inne, inre, innom.
Yeah.
And
like
then we're talking
nom.
about internal
Nom
things.
is good too, because om is the sound of all the sounds in the universe combined. Om.
And that is within. So innom is within.
Yeah.
And then we have this straight thing which inkomst, inköp, inse, intag.
Realize. I like that one. Inse.
Inse.
Yeah.
That's
like
very understandable word also, that you see the inside of it and then you realize it.
But you also get there's a insect.
Insect.
Yeah. That's got to be an old
Insect,
word.
Ina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is insect?
Yeah, because the mosquito is the insect and it's Ina. There's really something in with being a mosquito.
Are spiders described as insects? Beetles?
Could be. Or
Crickets? You know,
what
these
everything
are
looks.
all insects, right? It's not just.
Yeah. Yeah, all kind of busk and mosquitoes and butterflies and bees and ants and.
I'm never gonna forget that. I'm never gonna forget the name of mosquito en route.
Yeah, that was the intro to everything. Intro is also like in belief.
Right. In true.
Yeah.
Intro is in true.
Intro. Yeah.
In truth.
Introduction.
In introducing.
Introduce.
Sing. Sing again. Which is like celebratory. Intro. Intro. Deuce. Deuce. Do. To do? Pay your dues?
Do. Duke.
Deuce. Deuce is two or deuce. Sing. Sing. Deuce. True. In.
Deuce.
Backwards. Meaning wise.
Deducing, reducing, seducing, producing.
Induce. Induce is to like induct, into induce. It's like to make happen or incite. It's like basically kind of like incite also. To incite something, to induce. You turn on your induction burner is anyway.
Yeah.
Induce, induct, duct, which is like a canal, a duct.
Duct, yeah. And then it leads to an in-share, like an in-share, like a lake which is inside. Like when you have the sea and then you have the in-sea, which is the lake.
So that's what an introduction is.
Introduction. There is the duct.
Nice to meet you.
Now we're back in agriculture. Introducing ducts in agriculture.
I want to give you a clue, so I want to include you.
That's why the duck brings the water, so that the ducks don't have to be alone taking the snow
And then
away.
she asks, "What's your what's your income?" And if we do it, let's see.
We can include an intimate
In-gay.
In-game.
In-gay. I want to be
and then you get your
inspired. I want I want the
celebrera.
spire in. The spire is like you know, the phallus part of the building. The spire.
The spire.
So when you're inspired, you know, you have your spine, your spire.
Yeah.
Inside.
Inspired, yeah. So you are inspired by
for all
art.
heads. Yeah. For all the places that do some thinking.
Inspired inside for inspiring art to get into.
So we have intro, introduction, and then you have influ. To be influenced.
Influence.
Influence. Inflow.
So what kind of flu is being influenced?
What fluid?
Fluid, yeah.
Another FL. Flesh, yeah. Word. Self. Self backward flesh. God, that was such a good one. Oh. That really puts it
with an age, because the self has to become whole to become flesh.
Well, how would you say it backward? How would you say flesh? Would it just be a hard S? Or flesh? Would it have that? Because you also have flush. Like if your skin is flush, you're red. Flush, also flush is to flush, you know, liquid or something like that. Flush the toilet. I don't know, but it's probably not the best way to describe flush. Flush, flush. But influera, your influence.
Influence.
You have influence? Are you an influencer? Influence. Someone with influence.
But that can be a very fluid word.
Influence. Influential.
Yeah.
Influenza.
Influenza.
But when you're flush, you're also inflamed.
Inflamed. Inflamed?
Inflammation.
Inflammation, yeah. Sure. Flam can be a word. Can it?
Flamma.
Flamma, flame, flam.
Inflammation. When you have inflammation inside the body.
Yeah. But that also can actually be rated to flame, because an inflammation can be like some kind of state in the body which is kind of burning.
Sure.
Way.
Yeah. You know, we also say we get fired up about things. It's excited.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what's influence also.
And that's kind of what's happening when you experience inflammation, or if, you know, you put of the body.
Yeah.
One could say, never mind. Infatuation. Infatuation. When you're really fond of somebody.
Flattered.
Mm-hmm. Yes, flat.
Flat.
Infina, appear, to attend. Fina. Infina. Infina. I don't know how to emphasize on Swedish or root words. I don't know where to emphasize the word. There are like a rule of pronunciation. tidbit?
Oh, of course, there's always rules between the lines, but then how to understand every line? Because this is in Finna. This is when you find yourself somewhere. Because
so it's fine.
Finna has to do with find.
Or in Vina.
In Finna.
In Vina.
Vi infinner oss nu i en diskussion.
Infinite.
Infinite.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Infin.
But they're Finn.
Wait, what's infinity and what is infinity? Oh, yeah. Wait. Infinitive. Huh. Wait, what's it? That's not a root word?
It's oändlighet or äreten. There is o making it negative, and then end. End is an end, like an end of something. So it's not never ending. Oändlig.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like
Got it.
like Finn can be also Finnish, which is then an ending. So it's in Finn. So it's doesn't have an ending in the opposite.
What about in Finnish? What about in Finnish is infinite?
Ääretön. Tön here signs that it's an like without something, and ääri is like the ääretön, but it comes from ääriviiva. Ääri is a limit of something. So ääretön is something that doesn't have a limit.
Area.
An area has some limits, but that doesn't have limits then. But it's infinity in a way, anyway.
Well, areas also could just be like openness, airy, air.
Okay, you can define area as, but an area usually has defined boundaries.
What's R in Von?
R.
Ed.
R.
Ad.
Yeah.
Does it have a sound change also?
No.
No. Oh, like af. Right.
It's in both. It's R.
Oh, okay.
Finnish pronounce it in the way R. Then you have the two tones of it.
Got it. Okay.
It's the A, which is the feminine, and then the R. So there is the masculine and the feminine in the same, both then presenting Ra and both sides of Ra.
I like that. Thought I was onto something else, but
yes, that's how you work when you are in infinity. Just no way.
No I guess it would be like Finn would be like final.
Yeah, precisely.
There is no finality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Cool. But I don't think influential, influid, and so that would be inflatande. See, I'll say it with a different. I'll say it with like some Mexican accent or something.
Influtande defines actually it because flutande it's something that's flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it becomes fluid and flow and everything is become liquidized.
Well, again, has more of that putting in sound.
Yeah.
So E by itself with other letters would be like the concept of being in, but when it is in, it's like putting in. So far, that's kind of been the meaning in every word that we've looked at so far. Would you agree? Kind of
We had inat, which is there is only E. But then the in can be the positive meaning of putting it in, or it can then be the opposite, that it's lacking it. Because like infinity doesn't have fin, a final. It's lacking a final.
Yeah. Yeah, like inverting it.
Yeah. It's the same with these negative words, inte, ingen, inget. They are the negative side, but then you have the innom, inne, which is the internal side. So we have this, the negative aspect of in and the inside part of the in, especially in these combination words.
That's a cool word. That's good information.
Indeed.
Inform.
Inform. Yeah.
Are you informed today? Or are you informed today?
I'm informating today.
Informera.
Informera. Well,
it's a man's form. You have that, and you can be in formation. You could be in formation.
Yeah, you can be in a formation. Yeah.
The form is like the mold.
Yeah.
The body's form.
Yeah.
But now we also have it in the information system.
Yeah, because in the information system, everything follows a form. The information that we give now out, it has a form of IA, IB, IC.
It's like relating like what's in the head does have a form.
Yeah. And what's form inside of the
That's
head
the
is
cast the spelling.
Yeah.
Like cast it in stone. You cast the stone in spelling, or you cast the body. Yeah. With the words. With your swords. So your svards. Your words.
How about ink?
Words.
Ink.
Ink.
How old word is ink?
Inca.
Inca.
The Inca civilization.
Did they use ink?
I'm sure they were inked.
But that's actually a good point.
I bet they are very known for their.
Yeah. But that's a good point of human using symbolic things from.
They were the most southernmost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They were the South Africans, South Americans.
South Americans, and so that would be Peru.
Yeah. Machu Picchu is in Peru.
And Peru is also, I think there's an ocean current connecting in the Pacific Ocean currents. Sorry, I want to back this up with something that I want to see if I'm right. And Easter Island. So I watched this thing that Thor sent me, and it was about the Maori people on New Zealand, and accounts, ancient traditions say that they came from Easter Island, and the traditions on Easter Island say they came from Peru.
On Easter Island, there is also tradition that tells that they come from the north.
And you know, the connection that I was trying to make to ink, what made me think of this is even the Maori do full face tattoos. They're fully inked. And that's where they say they come from.
Because ink is then also, it becomes ink card, it becomes in man. So you have the ink is the outside of the representation of what is in.
So it looks like I was gonna see if like the ocean currents go exactly where Easter Island is, because then it would just make sense that it goes full circle, because I see here in the Pacific Ocean around, they have a Peru current. So the ocean current is called the Peru current. So I didn't know that until just now, which is interesting because that lines up, and then they have the South Equatorial current. I don't know where Easter Island is on there. I think these maps are kind of like not, you need to see the whatever. But it doesn't seem like Easter Island is specifically in the current. That would be interesting to know. Should ask chat.
But here when we have North Pacific and South Pacific, these currents, and then we have these equatorial concurrents. So the Easter Island becomes somewhere in this meeting point, like when you have the upper is twisting around so that you have Hawaii twisting in it, and then you have the southern twisting underneath. So one side is in New Zealand and the other side comes the top of the Easter Islands. So these both currents basically meet, and then when they meet here, then there's the way to kind of Peru at the same time.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if, like, in their languages they have. I wonder what some of their IN words would be besides Inca.
In the Maori language or the.
Well, Maori is. Google is broken, and you could put in most Maori words and it'll spit something out in Finnish. Like if you take the Maori word and you just translate it from Finnish, like the sound of it or something. I could be wrong. I think it's probably just a glitch in the translator.
Could be. The Akamaori dictionary.
There. There. Yeah, this isn't loading for me for some reason. What you looking at?
Trying to find a Maori dictionary so that I can just browse forward a word in just to see if it fits or not.
Inca. 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 Ka. What's ka?
What's ka?
Ka words. Ka. Cost. The Incas. Incas. The Incas. Kosk.
Kask.
Kosk. Is that a helmet?
Kask.
Kask.
No, se.
You never heard that? Kosk? Like a casket?
Casket.
Kosk? Yeah, casket. Kosk. But it's a helmet.
Okay.
No?
Not to my mind now.
Car. Ha. Car. Oh. Car. Inca. The inked
Nahe
Carl.
peitati ebiti neitera.
Caffeine.
Coughing.
Inca. The Carls. Calori. Calori. Cacao.
There is something. In Avahai, not long since. In Aveheke, not long since in another way. There is a bit of in feeling in it.
You're gonna have to elaborate on what you're saying.
I'm reading Maori.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a word in Avahai, which means not long since. And then it can also be said as in Aveheke, which also means a long sense, not long since, but there is the same in feeling.
Are you getting any Finnish vibes out of it?
Phonetically, but not really. Are you a inukoro?
I feel like I know what that means.
It's a lazy fellow.
Oh, nice.
Inukoro.
It reminded me of the kuru that you get when you eat like brains. They call it the kuru.
Okay.
You ever heard of that?
No.
It's like if you eat like brains, there's like some kind of thing that like basically destroys your own brain. Like
Really?
you're not supposed to eat brains. And
Okay.
it has these things called I forget, but
it's interesting when it's a.
It basically makes the proteins in your brain fold and mismatch, and it'll cause brain damage and then sudden death of the brain. But it makes people crazy first, and then they call it the kuru.
Okay.
And like
But does it
tribes.
depend what animal brain you eat?
Well, they're eating like monkey brains and stuff like that. And you get the kuru in South America and Africa and like different cultures.
Because I only eat a big brain.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's like a manhood test somewhere that you need to eat it.
I guess.
It's the funniest because among some people there is the opposite thinking that if you eat brain, it will fix your brain.
Yeah, where are they
Similar as
today?
poisonous mushrooms, you should not eat, but some like to eat them and they do something to their brain. But
yeah, don't do that to your
don't do
brain.
that.
Yeah, the kuru. Where are we?
Uh,
IN
We just jumped from ink to Inca.
Oh yeah, Inca.
Trying to figure out that one.
True. Ink. Yeah, I was looking at the KA. That's where I was. Inca. Incas. Inca. Kai. Inca. Inkai. Inca. Inkya.
Finnish has an interesting word also, ink, which is inkivääri.
Yeah.
Which is ginger. But it's also interesting because kivääri is a rifle. So in rifle is a ginger.
Huh. So yeah, I see a lot of ginger in my work life, actually.
Yeah.
That's an interesting description. It's a root, so
Yeah.
it's it grows under the soil. And Inca is pretty, South America. So it's kind of the root of the Americas. Inca. Are there civilizations? I don't know why this thing's not working.
Other civilizations, what?
That IN.
Inuit?
Intuition. Inuit. I knew it.
In you eat, I eat you.
Knew, like gnosis, like new, like or new, or in new. Eat. Eat. In you eat.
In
you eat.
In you eat. Not outside, you eat inside. In you eat.
Yes. Well, you put it in.
Yeah.
What you eat, you put in. Gnosis. Knew it. I knew it. Well, there's the Inuit and there's the
Because it's also ingefära, which then in, give, fär, and ra or fära. Fä has to do with Atlantis time, the fädjur and the fä, these kind of things, perhaps.
it's a tree, the fir tree, the fair tree. No.
Like the ginger is in, fär, or fära.
Yeah, it's being named after this giving. Oh, maybe that's like what it does. It's like the benefits.
Yeah. So it gives, in gives, fära.
Ooh, like good raw. Like that's a mighty fine fair. That's some fair raw you have there.
In give fära.
Yeah. And then you become the Pharaoh of Egypt.
Yes.
Far, for, fair. Fair-minded, unfair. No, it's
Fair.
An engineer. In gene. maker of the genes.
Yeah. It's a funny word because like when you engineer, when you write it in Swedish, it becomes ingeniör, which means nobody does. So if you're dealing with an engineer, they don't do anything.
Well, I hear it as gene, like your genes, your family genes.
Yeah, that can be also because like we have ingen is no one, so it's like it's no gene. So it repeats in inge. Yeah.
Well, an engine is like kind of like the powerhouse.
Yeah. Engine.
And then you have inge, which is to inspire.
Yeah.
Right. That's a sound change, is what I'm hearing when you just said it.
In
No, that's no sound change. To inspire.
Inspirera.
Give in, give in. Give, it's like putting in, but you're giving. You're putting in.
Yeah, here. Inge.
Inspire.
Yeah.
There's that inspire word again.
In Finnish, there is also one more word which is maybe notable, is like in English, it's into, when you go into something, but in Finnish it becomes into. And into is then like when you're inspired to do something, like you're into it, because inspired and into.
Well, there you go. Intuition.
It's like a eagerness, this into. So you're into something, then you're eager of it.
Insert.
In case.
In case.
Insert in case.
In case. That makes sense. In case. Case.
Yeah.
Cased within. You also case the joint, which is like to what, like observe or something.
Yeah.
Case.
And we have inch also has in it, talking about measurements.
Yes, inch. 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 Inch.
Two.
Inch. Inch.
Incorporated.
Oh gosh, don't get me started. Incorporated.
Incorporated.
Yeah. Well, it's representing a body, but a non-existent one. Right? It's an idea. Corporation is a concept, right? So it has to come from a physical thing, which is a corpse, a core. That's what I hear. Corpse. Habeas corpse.
Maybe there can be some system in this other kind of money making where you incorporate something, like in this pagan system.
Core pair 8.
Incorporate
8.
So pair was eating in the core.
Yeah.
Or pay 8 period the core. Incredible.
Incredible. Credible.
Yeah.
You're a credible person.
Yeah. You're either credible
pay
or
your
you're
debts.
incredible.
Incredible. Credible. You're
Cred.
able to cred.
Yeah.
Cred it.
Credit comes from
eat.
credit.
Cred eat. Cred eat.
Yeah.
Cred eat.
What is credit and if it's
Cre.
yeah.
Credit. Cred. Red. C red. K red.
Create.
Red. Red. Ready. 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 Red. E. Red E.
Credit. Create. Credit. Create.
Good call.
But credit has to do with creating also.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Cred eat. Cred eat. Credit. Able. Able to eat. Cred. A creek. Cre. No.
Credible.
Screw. Screw. Accreditation. Accreditation. Accredited. Are you from an accredited institution?
Yes.
Well, that's incredible.
Yes. Are you interested
you are certified.
to be interrogated?
You are a certified creed. Creed. What is your creed?
Yeah. I'm credited
Religious
for my
creed. Religious creed. Are you up Shit's Creek?
I'm increasing my
increase. Yes. There we go. Increase.
Incrastinating my incredible increase.
And so we can secrete. So you can scream your decree.
Indefinitely.
Scream.
Are you trying to indemnificate me? So are you independent? What do you think about independence?
In the pen. Then.
Yes.
Then. Independent.
Well, dent is your dental system.
The den. In the den.
Because if you have in
the pen.
Yeah, pen.
In the peen. In the peen. In the peen. Penis. In the pen. In the peen. Pain. In the pain. Den. Den. Like a house. In the room. In the den.
But also dental is your mouth.
Odin. Uden.
Den.
In the pen. Den. Which would just be belonging to. In the pen. What do you think? without anything.
But like if we can trade this to like something being in, and that which being in is being D, so it's being drinked, and that which is in is a pen, and that where it is in is the dent in the dental.
Hmm.
Then we have this kind of drinking situation in a way that you are independently dealing with pendants.
Yes. In the pen. Then.
Because it becomes pendant also.
Independental.
Independent.
Oh. Huh.
I also I have to do with pending. Independent.
Yeah, depend. To depend on someone.
And independent, then you are opposite to that. You're not anymore dependent on somebody.
Are you? Yeah, depend.
Yeah, we all dependent on Uden.
Indeed.
Indiana Jones.
Indeedly doodly do.
Index. Indents.
No, index. Your
Index.
book.
Ah.
Look in the book's index.
Index. Yeah.
Index.
Index.
Index. You got that one? Oh, you do. You also have
But
index.
that's an X word.
Yeah, it sure
That
is.
something is being combined in the index.
Indela.
Indela.
To divide.
India.
To divide. To divide up.
Indela, yeah. Dela itself is to divide, but indela is then when you like divide it into something.
So you change the law to X. You get an index.
Yeah.
It's where the divisions cross.
Oh, yeah. Indela, you have the law of it, and the index where you have this crossing.
Indian.
Indian. India. Invia.
And Intia. So that's also what Saga says the old name for the Americas was Intia. Or
Yeah.
Inta or Intia.
India.
With a T.
Yeah. That's the one way of saying India.
Yeah, because we got quite a few of the. You got the Indias, the indigenous, indigenous,
But indigenous has to be quite of genius. Indigenous.
And then no, I was gonna say ab or it, origin.
That's ape origin, aboriginal.
Yeah. Yeah. Indonesia, Indonesian, individual.
Individual, indicating indifferences.
In the visual. Dual. Individual. Dual.
Dual.
That's two. That's dual. In the
we dual.
Dual. It is the dual. The dual.
And we.
That we put in.
Because it's individ is like individual.
So yeah, you got individ. To divide. Divide.
Vid is also
divide
when you're close
in.
to something. Like vid, like with.
Feed.
Yeah.
Feed.
Like brevid is like.
Is it a hard D for sure? Is that a hard D? Or is it a T, or is it spelled the way it's said? Pronounced?
Yeah, individ.
Yeah. D V.
But that
It's a
can have to do
palindrome.
with division also, individ.
And it's a palindrome. It's spelled the same way backwards as forwards.
Yeah, divid.
Yeah. So already it's because you can't. This goes back to the concept of one, and that you can't have, like, if you take half an apple, you still have both parts of an apple that make it. It's just divided. So it's just a way we say it's divided. But no matter how you look at it, you still have one apple. So divid, when something's divided, it's still one. Basically.
Yeah, it's divided only to parts.
And so it's taking
Like
those two parts to make one individual. So you put in the division to make, the mom and the dad. You put them, you take it's already divided to make the one individual.
Yeah, you have the V dual making the invid. Of course.
Yeah, because their dueling is like you're coming together also, like you're fighting. That's a duel is also
dual, like a dual weapon.
Yeah, and duel is also like another way of saying, like, a pair.
Yeah.
Right? A duel.
Kyllä.
Yeah, it is cool. All right.
Individual.
Infall. Infalla.
So what is indisputable? Indisputable.
In dispute.
Yeah.
Dispute is like a argument.
Yeah.
Or
so what is
disagreement.
indisputable about in?
Put.
Yeah.
Put this in your pipe and smoke it. Dispute. Put.
Yeah, in dispute.
Able. Indisputable. Able to put in.
Yeah, it's indisputable that you have to put the.
Yeah, so if you're able to put it in, then you are indisputable.
Yeah. You cannot be disputed anymore.
Yes. It's already done. The action was already taken. You can't multiply it by 0 and make it unhappen.
Yeah, you can't make individuals by multiplying by 0.
Because if that was possible, then in reality can just be multiplied by 0 and not exist anymore.
But what do you multiply in like
According to the black ink on white paper mathematics.
yeah,
Black ink on white paper proves it.
yeah, of course, of course.
That the infinity times 0 equals 0. Science fact, you know, can't argue.
Indisputable.
Indisputable. Well, you didn't really put anything in. You just put ink on paper. If I draw, just because I could draw a dog, I could draw a nice dog on a piece of paper doesn't mean I have a new pet I have to take care of.
Of course you have. It's like Tamagotchi. So, is it industrial then to put your name on the paper? Because like industrial, that is what we're going through. We're going to a dust trial. Trial of dust.
Is this how my name came to be? Dust in dust. Dust in, industrial, industry.
Industry.
All. Industry. Dust.
But industry turns trees into dust.
Induced.
Industry. Industry. Can you switch that into a pagananda?
Into a propaganda? Propaganda. Induced. Induced. Do. Induce. To induct, to induce. Induce you to the tree. The family tree. Industry. That's where we were.
Industry. Industination.
Yeah. Tree. Tray.
Yes.
No, it would be just tree. I'm echoing. We still echoing?
No, not.
Oh, okay. No, it's just not in my headphone. That's fine. I think. I'm being quiet. There we go. You are in my ears. Okay.
So, inevitable happenings move us forward from industination to industrial ages.
And oh, I'm looking at the wrong. I was like, ooh, this one we didn't do. How did we miss this one? And then I'm on the wrong page. Okay. That was I am. We did cover it.
Yeah.
Industry.
So what would you rather be, inedible or ineffective?
I'd rather be inedible.
Okay.
Wait, what? I'm just kidding.
Inedible or ineffective?
Oh, you said that. Oh, both. I would prefer neither. Or neither, I mean. Something in between. No.
In between.
Inamut. To move towards. Emote. Emote. In emote. Induce tree. Pay your dues to the tree.
Yeah.
What do you? It's not what your tree can do for you. It's what you can induce tree.
Yeah. That's an less or more inexpensive way to get to know the tree than to dust it.
That's it is Dustin.
But that's also introduced.
Wait, doesn't Dustin mean like to fight?
Deuce.
Deuced is like a bout, a fight, a tussle, a grapple. To deuced. Deuced.
Which language?
In Swedish. Dust is a fight. So in a Norwegian speaker also told me that. That's a or no. In Norwegian it means something kind of pathetic, actually. In Swedish it means to fight, and then I gotta find it in Norwegian because it was kind of funny. He was like, "Your name means this to me." A jerk. It means you're a jerk in Norwegian.
Yeah.
Deuce, but it's just deuced.
Yeah.
So deuced in.
But that's like a deuce, like a deuce bag.
Oh, douchebag. Well, there's another deuce.
Yeah.
Industrial.
Deuce. Destroyer.
Oh, that's also a connection to that destroyer, destroy, to fight. A bout. You have a bout with someone. A tussle. Slagsmål. Strid. Kamp. Anfall. Drugslag. Drugskille. Omgang. Are you frozen again?
No, I'm just.
Oh no! Oh my god! You were so still. I was like, "That's exactly what happened when the computer went down."
Okay. Because here it said that dust is also like from the 1600. This when the horsemen fight against each other, one against one, it's called dust.
That could be because when the horses are like,
they
stomping around, and then the dirt, the ground, makes a lot of dust.
Oh, maybe. It's like when you ride with the dust. It's kind of saying that you boom, and then you just the dust boom. After you.
How about this one? Indiscreet.
Indiscreet.
No, indiscreet, like secret. Indiscreet.
Discreet, yeah. Indiscreet.
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 Secrete.
Infantry.
Discreet.
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 But that's easily some other words. Discreet.
Secretary. Secretary. Indiscreet. No.
The secretary, indiscreet. But discreet is a bit, sounds like a secretary thing. Like, because
It does.
indeed discreet.
And that's still like if you're messing around with your secretary, you know, you want to keep that on the DL. You don't want to keep that indiscreet.
Yeah.
You don't want the wife to know about it.
No, especially or in your in a big house there somewhere in a tower.
So keep a secret.
Yeah, keep
A
it discreet.
A secret.
But a
Secret.
crate is also some kind of box.
Oh, a crate in English,
Yeah,
yeah. Crate.
Discreet.
Well, so is a fuck.
Box.
Oh, fuck your crate. The secret. You have to keep that a secret. A secret.
Hey, you put your disc in the crate.
Yeah, you keep your share in your share crete.
Yeah.
Shacrete.
The crate.
Your share of the decrete.
Discreet.
Discreet.
Yeah, it's when you have to suck in your words when you're discreet.
No, have some indignation in or in. That's what it's indicating.
Is indicating?
Yeah.
But is
It's
it
indicative.
infamous or is it infertile or is it what kind of discrimination?
Well, that's going to be important to to indicate more
It's very
specifically.
important. Yeah. So does the inferior indicate the infest?
It's all leading to something like it's. We're gonna have to talk to the infantry.
Okay.
About.
So let's talk to the infantry. What do they do?
They make the infants tree.
The infants tree.
They te on infant. Infatuated.
Infatuated.
No, infant.
We have an elephant also, and then we have an infant. And then we have fawn. So.
Like a baby deer.
Fawn is like in nowadays word, it's another word for the devil or something like that.
Oh yeah, or a fan.
Yeah, but also a fan is also a flag. Like a fana is a type of a flag. So like we have staff fun day, which is the staff, and the fun day, which is the Okos day, which you meet.
That is what a fan is made of. Like you usually put like a flag looking shape around and then it spins. That's cool.
So that's the infante.
Well, that's a good idea in fall.
In fall?
Fall.
Yeah. In fall.
Fall.
That in fall? No, it's in fall. It's in east, spring. And springtime is infantry time. And then the fall is the in fall time. Or is it?
The idea time.
Yeah, that's where you go to the interior.
No, in fall would be when the sun is fully fallen, and that would be like if it's early December, it'd be like a week or two after Lucia Day.
Yeah.
Something like that.
A week.
And that's when you have the idea is on Lucia Day. It's when you have the idea. No, I don't know.
Yeah, Lucia Day is on the 13th day when you see the dream. Then you have 7+1 day, and then you are in the winter equinox, and then you have 3 days to festival.
It says here there's also a use to as like a fancy, like to mean fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Infall. Fancy. Fun.
Yeah, fancy is also fun.
Fancy.
So fancy. Fancy is
Fantastic.
fancy things.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's when the fun takes the stick.
Stick.
Yeah. So on star fans day fantastic and put up fana for the infantry. Immeasurable.
Yes. And that's what's infinite.
Yeah. In funny. And everything is in flames.
Yes. I have to look deeper. A fang. Fong. Fung. Fane. Fane is a fane, a temple, a church, archaic or poetic, a temple or shrine. Fane, F-A-N-E. Huh.
My brain is inflexible for that. So how much are we gonna make influence with our in things?
However much you insist.
Infinity.
There's still
It's
quite
an inflexible infinity information.
You know, there's a lot of money words in English, and yeah, and well, you got income, you got invest, you got well, a lot of number words, invariably. Well, I guess that'd be variably. I mean, well, invest. I mean, vest doesn't really mean anything. So without the in, so invest. So in west, invest.
Vest is also the thing that you put on.
Investment. Investment. Investing. Investing. Invest. Involved. Involve. Like revolve. Evolve. Revolve. Involve.
Volve in general, something that you adjust.
Yeah, valve.
Valve.
Involve. Vol.
Valhalla.
Here's an interesting one.
Infra, which has to do also with the infrastructure or how, because fra is also from, or fra becomes easily also fre.
Yeah.
So infra is like in and from, kind of.
Infrastructure.
Because infra can also mean like under or
fraction. Fraternity. Fraternity. Brotherhood, you know. Fraud. That's another money word right there. In fraud. No, that's not gonna be anything.
But fraud can be also different things.
Yeah. Frame. Your frame. France. Frankenland.
Frankenland.
Frank.
Frank. Are you Frank?
Afraid.
Afraid. Infringe,
Here's an
you're afraid.
Oh, infringe, 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 infringed. That is a weird word. Oh yeah, I saw this interesting one, which means certificate or testimonial. Intug.
Intug. Yeah.
Intug.
That
Like
was
a
an
certificate.
interesting word also.
That's why I was pointing it out.
Because tug is fabric. So
Fabric.
intug in this sense means that something that's kind of printed into fabric. Which also kind of fits with the
Tug.
ink on the
Toga.
white
Toga.
paper.
A tuga. A Greek tuga.
Toga?
Yeah, like a Greek toga.
Yeah. In toga.
To tug. To tug. Intug. Certificate. Tug. Two.
Tuga. Tu is also like when in Old English you write Thai. In Thai name, in your name. Like tu is because of. Like tu is
For.
like
Like for or because.
like because of this tu detta. So it's like a way of saying reason.
What about gut? Gut? Is that anything?
Gut.
Tug backwards. Gut. No.
Not really.
Okay. Testimonial. Such a funny word. Testimonial.
Testimonial. That's a kind of
moon.
testing out.
Testy moon. All. Moony. All moon. Testes.
Yutia is a word. Like it's like this slurry. Gosh, no. Mud. Mud is Yutia. That's like a Yut word. Yut, yeah.
Inaugurate. Inauguration.
Inauguration. So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna inaugurate?
Aggregate. Aggregate. Inaugurate. Inaugurate. Nog. Inog. Nah. Eight. Inaugurate. Inaugurate. In awe.
In awe.
Like awesome.
Yeah.
Like awestruck. In awe. Here. In og. Og? An egg? An ugg? Og?
In
og. Eight. In gay. Right.
Nog, gone. You, right. Ingenious things.
Yeah, we have tons of well, there's also the plant, the indigo plant.
To me, it's a color.
Yeah, it's like blue. It's a very
yeah, indigo. There is in this some part of the saga a lot of these different shades of blue.
you also incur debt.
Incur.
Like to incur, which is incur.
Incur.
Incur. Incur. Incur. Incur.
Incur.
To incur. Incur. Cur. Cure. Indeed. Did you do a good deed? Did you put in a good deed?
Did you put in a good ingredient?
Did you do a good deed?
Indeed.
Or
with an impressive ingredient.
Is that the property you live on? Do you own that property? Do you have the deed to that property?
Indeed, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. Indirect.
Indirectly, in a way. Depends how we want to see the world.
Insinuate. Did we already do this one?
No, I'm unfamiliar with the word.
Insinuera.
Insinuera? Incinerate?
Insinuation.
Insinuation.
Yeah, it's like implication, to imply something, to insinuate.
Insinuate. Okay.
It's like hinting. It's like hinting.
Okay.
What
so
are you
what are
hinting
you
at?
insinuating?
Yes. Insinuate.
Are you insinuating that the
Insinuate.
Insinuate. Insinuate. Insinuate.
Inseminate.
New is now.
Inseminate.
Inseminate.
Insincere.
Inhabitant.
Insincerity. Insincerity. Insinuate.
Inhumane incinerations.
Investigate.
Yes, the initial.
Invest. There's another money word. Invest. Oh, I already said that one. Oh yeah, we already said that one. But then you investigate.
Investigate.
So you invest the gate.
The initial.
Invest portal. That's portal.
You investigate in juries. Investigate. Initial.
Investigation.
Investigation.
I mean, there's so
How
many.
about the concept of in-law?
What?
Concept of in-law.
Oh yeah, in-law. In-law.
How do you treat in-laws in your place or in USA?
We just insult them.
So think of them as family that you're insulting or as strangers?
Insult.
Insult.
Incel.
So, innocence?
Instruct.
Innocent insulting?
Well, there's a good one. Instill. That one's usually used as a pretty positive word. Like you instill good morals in your children. You instill good things. Still. Instill.
Yeah.
Inge. Oh, I guess it would just be Inge in Swedish anyway. There's another way of saying it in English, which is instill. Instinct.
Instinct.
Yeah, instinctual. Instinctive. Instinctive. Instinctual.
So you stink inside when you instinct?
One sec. Instinctual. Instinctual.
The innkeeper is in quest of
Instant.
instinct.
Installments of inspiration. Inscribed.
But the in word is also like not the en but the enn word. The gästgiveri. It's also an in with a long n.
Invade.
Invade. Invade the inmate.
Institution. Well, did we instinctive? And did we finish that one? I don't think so. Instinct, distinct. Instinct, distinct. Distinct?
Instinct.
No.
It's
Instinct and distinct. Instinct, distinct. Distinct.
I just wonder why.
Steam? Stink? Stink?
Yeah, why it stinks.
Well, smell can. People don't forget smells. Isn't that like the olfactory? They call it the olfactory senses. Is like. That's a funny word, actually. Olfactory. Anyway, distinct is usually used for smells. Like you can say it use that word in many different ways, but Something that's has a distinct smell.
Yeah.
You know. Distinct. Huh. I wonder if that has to do with pheromones. 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 Intact is a good one too.
Yeah. This. But then takt means when you are moving like itakt.
But instinct is like, it's kind of like a deep meaning word. You know, it's implying a lot. You know, our instincts. You know, animals are all instinctual.
Yeah.
Instinct to all. Instinct to all. Instinct to all.
Well.
I wonder if there's another. A steak. A steak. Stink. That's weird.
What is the basic word here? Instinct.
Stee? Is steen? Steen a word? Stint. No. Oh, stint. Oh, it's stint in Swedish also. Stint. It's like should be the same meaning in both languages. Stint, a stint. I did a stint in Ireland for a little while. I did a stint in, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like a time. Or like I don't know what the definition would be, but oh, supply an ungenerous or inadequate amount of something. As a verb. To stint. Oh, it's to like jip or skimp. Skimp is like stint. So when you stint somebody, it's like stunting them. And that's a, oh my gosh. So stunt. Which is like yeah, I remember the Eeyore tapes where he's describing when it gets harder and harder. It's a different stance. So like a stance.
Stunt.
Yeah, so then you get words like stance or stunted growth or something like that. Like you're stunted or your stunt double or a stint.
Yeah, could be that because there is English words for that in some way. So when you started those, it sounded a little bit like you have the stance and the stand and the kind of.
This was with an I, an E, a stin, a steen. So what stands, the E in middle, a stan is in middle. So a stin should be Carl's tour, a stint, instinct, Carl's tour, sting. Sting
It
operation.
comes from the word sense. Sense turns into stinct, but what happens in between?
Yeah, well, senses, that's what instincts are. You know, you're just reacting to your senses or...
But they're not all senses, or are they?
Mm,
They can be.
maybe not all conscious. It's
doesn't
unconscious
have to be.
senses.
Yeah.
It's your animal nature, natural instincts.
Yeah.
Instinct.
But an instinct is also an predictive thing sometimes. I have the instinct that this is going to happen. I have
Yeah, like
instinct
a
that
gut
you're going to
feeling.
say something soon.
Yeah, gut feeling.
Yeah.
Steam.
And then we're talking about this subconscious senses, maybe in some way.
Institute. Institution. Instinctive. Institute.
Because here is also kind of saying that it's a natural drive, the instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ingivelse.
Inked. Ink. Well, there's ink again.
Yeah.
Ink. St. Ink. Inked. In. Instant. Instant.
Instance same belongs to the same
Instance.
instant.
For instance.
Instance. For instance, an instant. But this instinct can also come from like an inspiration or intuition.
Yeah.
An inspiration we go also to in the spiral.
Instinct. Instant. Instinctive. Instinct. Eve. Drift. Drift. Insurance.
Sure. But that's something completely new. I don't think they have paradise time insurance.
Well, it says insure. You want to ensure your kids are healthy.
Okay, true.
You
In
gotta be
that way.
sure of
Okay.
you have to be sure of yourself.
Yeah.
And on
That's
the
why you
inside.
instruct how to use your instrument.
Yeah. You don't want to be completely insulated.
No, especially not isolated.
Yes. And be no isolated. There's some really good English. I guess there are also probably in Swedish too, but
Yeah.
insult.
Insult.
Insult. Tour. Insultor. Insulter. Insultor. Insult. Insole. Insul. Sul.
Yeah, insult came to me also, like insult has been something sunny thing.
Yeah. Maybe it used to mean something like that. Intact. Act. Tact is like when you have
Good
tact, you're
tactics.
classy, yeah, or you're tactful. Intact, you're put together. You're in
your act.
You're cool, calm, cool, and collected. You're intact. You're intellectual. Intellect. Intel. Act.
Intellect.
Intellect. Act.
I might come to election, intellect,
Shun.
intellect.
Intellectual.
But there is
Intellectual.
lecture in,
Intelligent. A gent, like a gentleman.
yeah.
Huh. Gentle. Gene.
Gene.
Tail.
Yeah.
Like you tell a story, a tale. Or the tail end. Or the gentle. No, it'd be gentle. Gent. All.
Gentle.
Into. Intelligent. In.
Intelligent.
And then you have intelligible, which is illegible. Intelligible. Illegible. I don't know what you're talking about. You're intelligible. That's what it means. You're not making any sense. Or the words that you're saying you're not saying anything. You're intelligible. You're too drunk. I can't hear. You're slurring your words. You're intelligible.
I cannot tell where I is.
The grip leak. But intelligent. Wow. Intel. You have the contel lay.
Yeah.
Contele. Intel. So if you know how to play the contele, you are Intel. You are the intelligent.
Intelligence.
You're in the intelligence. Yes.
But intelligence is also about what your genes inside of tell you. But then we made that genes define intelligence.
Right. And there's a lot of dumb people that come out of the really smart people. And a lot of smart people that come out of a lot of dumb people.
But then there also depends on what these people want to listen to, because if they have the right information, everybody wouldn't necessarily be dumb.
Yeah. Well, if you're under ice time.
Yeah.
And oh no, it was 7. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Forget the ice time comment. But the military system works in tens.
Yeah.
So that's intense.
That's intense, yeah.
Cappy 10.
But then when you have tension, you have 10 and 7. You have tension.
Yes. 10. Well, it's 70. No.
Yeah, but like when you have the 10 men and the 7 women, then you have tension between them.
Intensify.
Intensify.
Intensify. Intensify the situation. Intense.
But like in English, Old English, when py is fire in pyramid, then there is a word for fy. So fy is something also fiery, that if you intensify, you add fire into it.
Intensity.
Intensity.
Intense.
Yeah.
Intention.
Then.
Is it your intention to be more intense and intensify the intensity of your intent?
It's an integral part of this to be in then intangible.
Intestines.
Intestines. Sounds a bit like testicles.
Oh, what's
This is
this?
a testis, the testicle.
In Alvar. In Alvor. In
In
Alvor.
Elvor. That's also an interesting word because an elv is a type of a river.
Okay.
So inside rivers.
Oh, okay. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. So for
Yeah.
the word for intestines
Yeah.
in Alvor.
Yeah. So there you have a body part which somebody has understand what happens inside of the body before they name certain kind of rivers to be Elvar.
True. What's veins and capillaries or what's like veins and arteries?
Arteries is odror, and then you have the o. Dror.
Mm.
Or
The
draw, yeah. The drawing rivers is the arteries.
And veins. Oh, the same thing. Oh,
yeah.
do you have the same word for both?
Could be. Veins is the normal word for it, yeah.
We have like the blue blood and then the red blood.
Yeah. All blood is red.
When it has oxygen.
Yeah.
But you don't have a different word to describe both? The red and the blue veins and arteries? Because there's a distinction. Like the veins are like the blue ones, and then in English, and then arteries are the red ones.
Let's see.
I think I may have gotten it backwards. Yeah, in English they make a different differentiation between arteries carry blood away from the heart, so they're already oxygenated, and then once the oxygen is released from the blood cells, it becomes blue, and veins carry the blood towards the heart.
So then, odror, if it's draw, pulse are the veins because they. Yeah.
So you make the difference between draw and push.
Maybe, but what is the other then?
Pulse.
But veins is also way. Veins. It's a way of NNS.
Yes.
Arteries. How arteries?
Vein. Oh, you have a word for vein. It's vein. Nev. Vein. Nerve. Nerve.
But it's arter also. It's the same word. Arteries and arter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool how arteries is coming from that O sound, like representing the rivers.
That's the veins. Arteries, in this, there is the word art and air. And art, in this case, can mean all kind of animal arts or human arts, or all animals are arts, or our plants are also arts. And air is. So an artery can be an art that is. So something that's living being has to have an artery.
That is intriguing.
Yeah. Because a tree doesn't need a vein. It never pumps it back. Tree just pushes everything out and then it goes back to nature.
Intriguing.
Intriguing.
Intrigue-giving.
Intellectual, intriguing.
Interesting. 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 Interessant. That's exactly in Spanish too. Interesante.
Yeah. Because in Swedish, intressant, in, tree, true.
Oh, sant. Oh, in
Yeah.
tree truth. Wow. That is interesting.
For sure.
You know, it's funny in that word is in how we spell it is inter s, but we say it interesting. But we spell it, we switch the R and the E. And
right.
And then then you would have the word interest. Interest. But we say it interest also. Interest. And that's also a money word. They turned into a money word.
Yeah.
Interest.
And
then there's interference. Foul interference.
Well, then you go. It has to do with fear.
Yeah. It's when someone gets in the way, or like in the middle of we use it in sports all the time. It's like an official word in sports. Like if someone from the crowd runs into the field while the soccer game's going, they'll be like, "Oh, interference," or if you like get, you do anyway, interference, or like it's like interruption, erupt, interrupt, interfere,
But can these be inte words because inte means no? I pronounce it int. Like, don't do that. You're int dead.
In root, it's like ingripa. Ingripa.
That's the gripa, the grab of something.
Yeah. That's kind of what interference means.
Yeah.
Sorry to interfere with your predictive programming, but right in the middle of a movie, what is that? Interlude. It's like an interlude.
Inception.
No. When like if you're like when you go watch like a play or something, it's the middle of it, and everyone takes a break, and then comes back. The interlude or what is that called? My gosh, I think it's an IN word.
Yeah, but there's a movie called Inception also.
That's a good word. Inception. Sept, seven, sept, incept. Which is referring to the dream world as we know it now, kind of colloquially. What's it?
And it's kind of feminine word actually also.
Intermission. An intermission.
Your intermission.
That's it. Yeah, it's an intersert word. Intermission.
Yeah.
So they'll like if in old movies or something, like if you're at the movie theater, if you're at the theater, then you always take an intermission, and so like the actors and actresses take a break, and the crowd takes a break, and they come back after an intermission, and so they go on some kind of mission in middle. So it's the intermission, but it's that Inter. So it should be like interior. 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 Superior. That was like one of the magics of his name was of Eeyore. Is it's only found in a few words like war, Eeyore.
Yeah.
War Eeyore. This is one. Interior. But intermission. Yeah, that's not even in.
Yeah. But there is quite
They don't
many
do
these
intermission.
inter starting words
Mm-hmm.
because you have interchange,
Intern.
intercession, intercommunicate.
Or when you get someone to work for free, they're an intern.
Yeah.
International.
Yeah. There. Not you now.
Interval. Interval. Interval.
Interval.
An interval.
An interval, yeah.
That's an interesting place to find vol.
Wall. But that can be a wall,
Hmm.
not a ball.
So it's
Wall.
making a section.
Yeah. So it's an intermediate wall, interwall.
Yeah, like intersect.
Yeah.
Interview.
Yeah.
Intimate.
Intimate.
Intimate. Intimate.
Intimate. But that's
Intimate.
what intercourse is about.
Yep. Intimate. Mate.
Intimate. A course intimate.
Team.
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 In
You're
team.
a team.
Yeah. So you're in team in an intimate intercourse. And then in
How about
interjection.
interjection? Interject.
But would somebody pronounce enter as inter?
Enter. You enter. Once you have entered, you are enter.
Yeah, but if you enter, if you pronounce the E with the E sound, it becomes inter. So when you do an intercourse, you enter it.
Yeah.
But then you are in it.
I think it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah. Now I'm just wondering if these are connected, the enter and these different interwords.
Introduce.
But intro is.
If you introduce, it would be like enter this. Intricate. Complicated. Intricate. Intriguing. Intrigue. Intriguing. Intrigue.
But what is gin?
Intrigerande. Intrigera. Entry. In the tree. In the tree. Intrigue. Trigue.
Trigger. Intrigue.
Yeah. Trigue.
Intriguing is kind of triggering. Because waveform of trigger is trig.
Trigonometry.
Trigonometry. But then we are in 3, and number 3 is combining.
Tree.
3.
Sure. Nom.
Because the 3 can mean either the number 3 or then the plant 3.
Tree. Intrinsic.
Interlinking. Intrusive.
Ooh, intrusive. Intrude.
So what is interest? What do we have interest in?
Interest. Try.
But interest is also like in the tree rest.
Yeah. Invent.
Invent. Ben is again because Ben is a friend. A Tor is a Tor friend. So with your Tor friend, you invent. Maybe.
Invention. Inventive. Inventor. Inventory.
Inventory.
Inventory. Inventory. Inventory. Inventory. Inventory. Infantry. Inventory. 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 Inventor.
Inventor.
Inventor. Inventory. Inventory. And in vain? In the vein?
In vain.
In vain? Like a
artillery.
Artery.
Artillery.
Invent. Inversion.
How about this one? Invigorate.
Invigorate. Invigorating.
invigorating.
Vig can have to do with vig cell, which means marrying. So invigorate is the rate that you get ladies.
Yeah, that is
Or ladies.
invigorating.
What does it mean?
Make you feel invincible. Invite her in. And if she doesn't see you, then you're invisible. Invulnerable, invincible, invulnerable, vulnerable, vulnerable is,
There can be some van in that name. Vulnerable.
vulva, vulnerable, vuln. Oh. no, that's it. It's only vol. Vol. Vulgar. Vulgar. Devolve. Involve. Involve. Involvement. Involuntary. Oh, voluntary. Voluntary. Voluntary.
Oh.
That's
Invol-
that's voluntary, infantry. Voluntary. One, un, vol, involve, all, involve.
But it's also
It sounds-
interesting, involve is the
Vol is
opposite
vol.
to involuntary.
So you just look at the voluntary, voluntary. Would you like to be a volunteer? Volunteer, vol. That's A, vol, elect, to choose.
Oh.
So when you're involved, you're choosing who to be in.
Because like
Who's going to
voluntary is
win.
frivillig. And free is then free and will is then will. So voluntary. What can voluntary has to do with being free?
I think it's vol, VA. Because they're not directly the words are just different in the translations. Yet you guys are using different words and none of them are constructed in a short way. So it's like well, except so involve, I see invecla, and vec, invoke.
Vekla is utvekla, which has to do with like developing and innovation, and vec is also like a hole between something. Like this is
It's also
vec.
value. Oh, sorry. Vec.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
like
also a vec in the shirt when you
oh,
have
a V-neck.
a vec, a
V-neck.
a V-neck. Yeah.
What about what do you call the collarbones in root?
I'm not so good at anatomy words.
Because they're all anatomy words.
I know. That's what's so funny about studying this. Nyckelben, so key bones.
Key?
Key.
Like K?
Key, like the one which you open the door with.
Yeah.
Yeah, the collarbones are the key bones, the nyckelben.
Key bones.
Yeah.
Why?
In Finnish, it's solisluu. And then we in solis, we have the sun.
Nyckelben.
Nyckelben.
Nyckelben. Nyckel. The neck. The neck. L. Neck.
Nyckelneck. Quite close here.
Nick. The collar. Yeah. Value. Invaluable is something that is you can't even put a value on it because it's invaluable. It's so important. It's invaluable.
Yeah.
Involuntary. Involuntary. Valutary. Voluntary. Valutary. Valutary. Valutary.
Vol-
You. Choose you. Re. Retake your value. Voluntary.
Like I said, because like involuntary is translated as ofrivillig, which is then
I got 5 more minutes.
okay.
No worries.
Yeah.
What were you
Let's
saying?
try to end this then in 5 minutes. But my point was that where were we? The involuntary,
Mhm.
because like it's translated as free choicing. So you are doing something without your choice. But now if
Right.
vol is val, then you are doing something without your own choice. So then free will is actually free choice.
I think, yeah, I
So
do think
free
it's vol.
Wilson is actually free Walson.
Free will.
Free will.
Free will.
And then this which we're just explaining where you're taking this voluntary, because then it becomes a val of ta the ry or ta y, ta e. So it's a choice of taking it, the voluntary action.
Yeah, it's all of the military, tar-e, R-E.
Yeah, that's also
Our
ta
E.
e, takes I.
Yeah, it takes
Tar
our,
e means take I. So the val and
yeah, because
e,
if I'm reading it, I'll go, oh yeah, voluntary.
yeah.
But when I'm saying it, it's well, I guess it's not but it's voluntary. I'm a volunteer. It's an a. It's an
Yeah,
voluntary.
it's R that dives in.
Mhm.
It's not an R which comes up, but it's an R which dives in.
Voluntary. Voluntary. Fall. It falls in.
And then the ability of invulnerability. So then you have the invul ner, which is the down. So because you're invulnerable, you cannot be hurt. So
Right.
your invul ability is down. So you're able to choose if you want to be down or not in some way, perhaps.
You vol your E.
Yeah.
Or she vols the E. Or yeah.
Both vol. It's still a vol of both, because like it's the heart which you cannot see which makes the choice. That's
Rival.
it. Rifle.
Rival.
Ingefära.
Your rival. Like your
Yeah.
enemy, but not your enemy. Your rival. The revol.
Yeah.
You revol. Rivalry.
So last words here are inward, inwrap, inbrought.
Oh, also invite.
Invite.
Yeah, invite.
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 Yeah, you said inwards and inwardly. Invertes. Invertes.
Invert. Inward.
Inward.
Inward,
So
we are going back.
A ward is like you know, you stay, it's like a place where you're hosted.
Yeah, like it's an in.
And ward is also like you ward off your enemies, like a defense.
Yeah.
So in
And
ward
this actually is good point which you take up with ward because it
toward.
becomes värd. And värd
Mhm.
is kind of where we started also this kind of recording today.
Hmm.
So it's
The word, the sword,
word.
the sword word, the svar, the swear.
The
I
swear.
swear to you. I
I
swear.
to you.
I swear. In svärd. Svärd. Svärd.
It's a verdict.
Verdict.
The inward verdict.
Yes. In ward. Warden. A warden. Prison warden.
Yeah.
Warden.
But also the host of the inn is also then a ward, a värd.
Yes. Inward. That's your, yeah. Putting in your head is inward.
Inward.
Inner-worldly. World.
Inner world.
Wow.
So are we in world now?
Okay, I guess we'll pick up on some Finnish.
There was not so much.
Yeah, it's not really just inti. Inti is army.
Yeah, but that's also a slang word. It's not an old word.
Are you sure? Now we're talking about the arm.
Okay, we're
T.
talking about having a T inside the
Yeah.
infantry.
Yeah. And
But inti has to do like
there's a couple of negative. There's a negative word which is inho. Inho.
yeah. I just didn't take up the negative words so much.
Yeah. And there's Inca again.
Inho is more like when you hate or you despise something.
Oh my gosh, here's an English connection. Incognito.
Incognito.
You don't use that in Finnish, huh?
No, it's just
Oh,
these
okay.
words which can be listed because
Carry
they are.
over. Well, that's a funny
So-
word, incognito. Incognito. In ku Coog, cog,
Cog.
Ni-
Incog.
to incognito. Do you know what that word means? Incognito?
Yeah, that's when you put on your mask.
Yeah. I just remembered an old Dave Chappelle joke, but I'm not going to say it.
Like the normal word for this in Finnish is tuntemattomana or salanimellä, which is how you typically use incognito, but incognito is basically how Ukko, when he goes travel outside of Uudenmaa, he goes incognito so that people cannot recognize who he really is.
Yeah, they borrow a lot of words here.
Yeah,
Into. What about into? Into, eagerness,
that we took up.
enthusiasm. There it is. Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. That's a Finnish connection for sure. Into,
Yeah,
into,
yeah.
to enthusiasm.
That's the same word, actually, yeah. Into
sure.
and enthusiasm.
Boom.
You used that the English, the enthusiasm there.
Yeah, we use that a lot. Very
Yeah.
enthusiastic. But that's kind of to my, like, when we were talking, I don't know if we pressed record already, but when we were talking about like the small parts of the beginning of words, I find in other English words, and this is an example of enthusiasm.
Yeah, that is a very good word. Now, when you say it, it becomes really relevant.
mentor, into, mentor, into, mentor, into. Yeah. Into. I love that though. Into.
It's into.
Into.
Yeah.
All right. Into.
That's where you get the
Enthusiasm.
English
Mementos.
mementos.
Mementos. That's a good word too. Let's see. Into. Yeah. All right. And entourage. Entourage. You and your
That's an
posse,
ensemble.
your entourage.
Yeah.
Entourage.
Entourage.
You guys are enthusiastic to be together with the whole range of your friends, your whole range.
Range.
Enthusiastic. Range. Entourage. Entomology.
But that sounds like N-word.
No, it's a study of insects.
Yeah.
The study of insects is ento, not
But to me,
entomology.
it
With a
sounds
Y,
more
it's
like
word.
an AN word, like a knowledge of the oak of
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. That was a stretch, just for the last minute. All right,
Yeah.
that was
Into
good. We'll
it.
pick up. I think we can. We'll probably get through quite a few more. IN was quite a lot of words with a lot of meaning in them. That was fun. This is going to be a fun one to listen to.
Yeah. For sure.
Lots of ideas. Cool. All right.
So in wrap, our inbrought.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Yes.
do your best rap.
I just wrapped.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
is now wrapped and packaged and so on. We can close our candle.
I'll do the beat.
Thank you, Dustin. Have a
All
pleasant
right.
day.
Cheers. You too. We'll talk.
Bye.
We'll talk later.
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.